shall roam, my love and I. thinking that he was a trusty tree. But first he bended and then he broke. And so did my false love to me. A ship there is, and she sails the sea. She's loaded deep as deep can be, but not so deep as the love I'm in. I know not if I sink or swim. Oh, love is handsome and love is fair, and love's a jewel while it is new. But when it is old, it groweth cold and fades away like morning dew.
Good morning and welcome to our Sunday service. My name is Sarah Lindsay and I am the minister at the Unitarian Society of Ridgewood. A sincere thank you, as always, to the team that helps create our Sunday services. You can see their names there. The Unitarian Society of Ridgewood was founded in 1896 and has, for over a century, been a bastion of liberal faith. It's a place where we question deep truths and where we welcome all seekers. Whatever your gender, sexual orientation, education, history, race, ethnicity, or age, we embrace you on your spiritual journey. Unitarian Universalism is a non-creedal faith that does not have any dogma about God or the afterlife, but we do share a belief in the interdependent unity of all things, and a belief that love truly has the capacity to change the world. We believe that salvation is a thing that happens here on this earth, when we create a world of justice, liberation, freedom, and safety for all people. And we believe that we owe it to our deepest selves and to each other to do everything we can to create such a world. Email remains our primary means of communication during these days of the distanced pandemic. So please, if you aren't getting our Wednesday e-blast, let us know. If you're new to Unitarian Universalism or to the Unitarian Society of Ridgewood, don't hesitate to reach out. We have a new tool as well for visitors and newer folks. I'm going to drop in the chat a link for a Google form. So if you are new, please fill that out. You'll get the e-blast. It'll help us get a chance to know you, and it will facilitate you getting to know more about us. Of course, you can always visit the website at uuridgewood.org or email us at 113cottage@gmail.com. Just a quick reminder that this morning we invited you to have a bowl of water nearby for our service. If you forgot, please feel free to go grab one right now. We'll be using it later on in the service, so you can go get that if you need to. And then I do have one very special announcement this morning. This year, our congregation will be joined by a field education student from Union Theological Seminary. Olas Karianis will spend the next few months with us, participating in Sunday services, working on a special project, learning from us, and offering us his immense talents as well. So he's going to take a moment to introduce himself. Olas.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you. And I just would like to thank the board for taking on such a unique field education project, and Reverend Lindsay for agreeing to work with me throughout this semester. So for the next couple of months, I will be joining your congregation in various ways, visibly during the service, but also behind the scenes, to develop what I'm calling a ministry of memory, but which may be better described as an oral and democratic history of the Unitarian Society of Ridgewood. So some background as to who I am. As Reverend Lindsay pointed out, I'm a seminarian at Union Theological with a goal toward UU ordination. Academically, I have obtained a master's degree in philosophy, and my studies primarily focused on the place where individual and the historical meet. Another way of saying that is just how all of us interact with the big events in the world. In my work life, I'm senior staff at the Civilian Complaint Review Board of New York City, which investigates New York City Police Department misconduct. So you can imagine that we are pretty busy at the moment. I see ministry as a way to engage both being mindful of our place in world history and as a call to engage ourselves with bringing justice out of injustice. And so I hope to bring these precepts with me to this wonderful society. And more importantly, I hope to engage you all with that work as well. The explicit goal is to tell the story of this society from the point of view of the members who keep it alive and develop it in its glorious and democratic community. It is quite extraordinary that this little society has weathered 2 pandemics, 2 world wars, 2 Bush presidencies. The society thrives at the level of the people who show up for it to keep existing, and I want to get to know that story and to tell it. Another and perhaps more important inspiration and goal is the preservation of voice and memory for posterity. So when my partner began tracing her genealogy, she was tracking down old government documents and old newspapers, and she quickly found that church records were the most reliable. However, she was also dismayed that these records were often recorded with the bureaucratic efficiency of government records. Nothing of the vitality of the church or the moment being captured in the pen strokes that noted them. And so this made me think that in an age where we can record digitally anything and are only limited by our storage capacity, we could also audio record interviews of the members of the society. Audio recording provides rich and lively details. Imagine the gift Ridgewood would have if 100 years ago, someone interviewed willing members on an audio recording. What insight would this give us? How connected would we feel with our history? Maybe even our ancestors? What would it be like to hear the voice of your great-grandmother recounting her memories? Our voice is a gift to the world, our language the matter of our prophecies, and our inflections the wings of our emotions. So I invite you all, and will continue to invite you, to lend your voice to this record, to inform the story of your society, and to speak to the future who will be grateful to hear your warmth and the light which guides. So thank you so much, and I look forward to working with you all. Sarah?
Thank you, Olas. I'm very excited that you're with us, and I know everyone will join me in welcoming you with open arms and willing voices. And thank you to all of you for being with us this morning as we begin our congregational year.
Please join us in the words for lighting the chalice. They can be found on your screen. We light this chalice for the light of truth, the warmth of love, and the energy of action as we gather together in the circle of community.
Now please take a deep breath. we come together again and we settle into this special time once more. Gathered, albeit virtually, among people who know you, among new friends and new faces, forming a community that can hold joy and sorrow, hopes and dreams, fears and celebrations. Breathe deeply and listen. Listen wherever you are. Listen with your ears in the quiet for the sounds all around you, of your own breath and your own heart beating. Listen with your soul for what you can't hear. The sounds we long to hear and will hear once more. The sounds of our community. The breath of our neighbor, the hum of energy when we sit side by side, the rustling of the children, the opening of doors of welcome. There are sounds we can hear and those we can feel. As you breathe, feel the strength, joy, and love of this community, one that is made over and over in our gathering and through our living. Breathe deeply and listen. From points all around the country, we gather once again as a community, reconstituting this congregation of people, each with unique individual lives and gifts, bringing them to this society to share and learn, to question and to grow, to give and to work and to serve with joy, even in the face of challenge and tragedy. Bringing our individual lives and gifts to this society, to celebrate and to affirm, to welcome and to rejoice, to care and to love, so that beauty and truth and joy might be ever known. Each of us comes with so much to share, and much of it born from the challenges we have faced and overcome. Strength born from sorrow, power born from hurt, beauty born from mistakes. Whatever our journeys have been, wherever our journeys may lead, we are with one another now, recognizing one another's perfectly flawed humanity, finding common ground, welcoming each other home. In a world of change and political uncertainty, we realize the importance of steady companionship. We realize the importance of the broken and beautiful fellow journeyers that keep us safe, that welcome our questions and our theories, that help us to grow and to change, and who open their arms to us, just as we are, in all our whole and human glory. Grounded in love, committed to changing the world, offering welcome and embrace to all, we gather together this morning. Please join in our first hymn. It is called For All That Is Our Life, and Kristen will lead us. The lyrics will be on your screen.
For all that is our life, we sing our thanks and praise. For all life is a gift which we are called to use to build the common good and make our own days glad. For needs which others serve, for services we give, for work and its rewards, for hours of rest failures, pain, and loss, for each new thing we learn, for fearful hours that pass, we come with praise and thanks for all that is our life. For all that is our life, we sing our thanks and praise. For all life is a gift which we are called to use to build the common good and make our own days glad.
Good morning, everyone. We have a story today called The Cracked Pot. And as you listen, all you young at heart, people who love stories, see if you can follow the path of a pot and a cracked pot.
And then I'm talking. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. Hello, friends. How are you? Thank you so much for helping me.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Jesus.
2, 1, action! Hey, friends. Here's your monk. I'm sitting in the middle of a field of flowers. And the legend I will tell you today comes from India. And I will also make drawings for you to illustrate it. Listen. Once upon a time, there was a man who used to carry water to his village every day in 2 pots hung at each end of a pole which he carried across his neck. One of the water pots had a crack, and every time the man arrived at his home, half of the water was lost. One day, the pot said to him, "Master, I'm so ashamed." The man asked, "Why, little jar?" "Because I have a crack, and because of me, you lose half of the water along the way." "Look at the other pot, so perfect, so full. I'm so worthless. Please just throw me away. It's better." The man smiled. "You want me to throw you away, little jar?" "Yes. Okay, but before, I want to show you something. What do you see on this side of the path?" "I see green grass." "And what do you see on the other side?" "Dry dirt." "Now watch closely. What more do you see?" "I see flowers." "And on the other side?" "Nothing. You see, my little jar, I always knew you were cracked, but I also saw that nature was more lovely on your side. So I planted flower seeds, and every day, without being aware of it, you have been watering them. I have picked many of them to offer to my wife and to my children, and thanks to you, these flowers grow for the joy of humans and for the glory of God." That's how the story ends. So, I just want to ask you one thing. Do you really think that God is not able to use your imperfections to make his plan of love come true? Be blessed, friends.
Morning. I'm Kristen Blumel, a member of the Board of Trustees of the Unitarian Society of Ridgewood. I add my welcome to you all. It is wonderful to be with you. Every Sunday that we gather, we ask for an offering to support the work of this congregation. Our mission statement is to grow in mind and spirit, to act with love for justice, and to transform ourselves and the world. This congregational year will be challenging as we work to support each other through the pandemic, as our nation faces changes in our political sphere, and as we all look forward to the future. We are truly grateful for the way you have shown up and continue to show up with your hearts and minds open, with your helping hands ready, and with your generous offerings, ensuring that the mission and work of this congregation can continue. We know that in this moment, there are among us those who are unable to financially support the congregation and instead find themselves in need of support. If that is you, please let us help. Reach out to Reverend Sarah, the office, the caring teams, or any member of the board, including myself. Now, on your screen, you will see the instructions on how to give. There are so many options. Please give generously. The offering will now be given and gratefully received.
Flow gently, sweet afternoon, on thy green breeze. Flow gently, our Sunday, our star in thy praise. Thy Mary's asleep by thy murmuring stream. Flow gently, sweet autumn, disturb not her dream. Thou stalked of whose echo resounds through the glen. Ye wild whistling blackbirds in yon holy den. Thou green-crested lapwing, thy screaming for I charge you, disturb not my slumbering fair. Thy crystal stream Afton, how lovely it glides, and winds by the cot where my Mary resides. How wanton by waters her snowy feet wave, as gathering sweet flowers she steps lightly wave. Flow gently, sweet afternoon, on thy green breeze. Flow gently, sweet river, the dream of my leaves. My Mary's asleep by thy murmuring stream. Gently, sweet autumn, disturb not her dream.
Every Sunday, as part of our shared experience, we make a special time for quiet, for the deep things we hold in our minds and hearts and souls. For some of us, this means meditation, a focus on breathing and presence. For others, it means prayer, a speaking of silent words from the heart. For others, it means holding a space for gratitude for all that sustains us. However we use this time, we all also use it to lift up the cares of the world and the joys and sorrows of our community. Before we settle into our slow and even breathing and our quiet time, please, if you would like, take a moment to write into the chat any significant life events or cares or celebrations that you want to share with our gathered community. Please only write into the chat with those things at this time. And as those who wish to type do, I invite all of us to settle our feet onto the floor, to put down anything we're holding, to try and relax our body as much as we can. You can roll your shoulders back, release the tension wherever you feel it. Unclench your jaw and try to let your body just be. Breathe in deeply and slowly as you find that place inside you. Deep and quiet and still place inside you. Beneath the surface, below all the noise and commotion. Breathe in deeply through your nose. And exhale slowly through your mouth. Breathe in deeply and exhale slowly. This morning, we acknowledge our worry for our world. For those across this earth facing pain, fear, hunger, and sorrow, we long for a world of kindness and compassion. For this earth itself that continues to feel the impact of climate change, we long for a balanced way of living that helps our planet flourish. This morning, we acknowledge too our worry for our own nation. For all of us who are facing hunger, pain, grief, and fear. We long for a shift in our culture toward care and compassion. For all of us working for racial equity, protesting on the streets, risking everything. We long for the changes needed in the very fabric of our culture to move us toward justice. For all of us who are worried about what the future holds. We long for moments of peace, for the inspiration of hope, for the power of possibility. And together this morning, we give voice to the joys and sorrows of our beloved community. Take a deep breath. Our lives have joys and sorrows side by side. Here in community, we can bear witness to them for each other. We can hold each other. Take a deep breath. Know that in the broken places we can find strength. Know in this moment the deep heart of your own resilience and grit. Know that this congregation holds you on your journey with all it brings. Still and always there is joy, beauty, truth, and love. With each breath in, may we know those deep truths. And may we bring them into the world each and every day. So may it be. Our story this morning of the cracked pot is a simple but powerful one. It teaches us that sometimes when we believe we have failed, we have created something unexpectedly gorgeous instead. This American culture in which we live is so concerned with product, with the end result, with efficiency and practicality. We are so often concerned with others' standards of success and externally imposed ideas of perfection, of what we should do or should be. And then we forget that along the road to the product, there is so much to see. We forget to pay attention to the journey. We come to see the detours and way stations as burdens. And we forget, too, that there is potential in challenge to bring us strength, and that our mistakes can make us powerful because they teach us. Our trials and challenges, those moments we step off the path by choice or by necessity, contribute to making us strong and whole and beautiful. We haven't always failed when we think we have failed. Whenever I think of that story, I think of the Japanese practice of kintsugi. It is a method of fixing broken ceramic pots. Ceramics can be very hard to rejoin, as many of us know from personal experience. Almost inevitably, glue lines will be visible and will seem inelegant. The functionality of a piece might be ruined. Just the other day, one of my children dropped a small bowl, breaking it into 3 primary pieces. And even with the relatively clean breaks, trying to glue it back would have been messy and difficult and potentially pointless, as the break likely compromised the vessel's capacity to hold the ice cream that I want to put in it. When a piece of ceramic breaks, usually our course of action is to throw it away. But with kintsugi, Japanese artisans found a way to make broken ceramics whole again. Not to restore them to exactly what they were, but to make them whole. Into the seam of the break, a golden lacquer is applied to join the broken pieces. It creates golden streaks inside and outside of the bowl, along the break lines. I'm going to try to show you a picture. Like that. It creates a golden scar, essentially, making the broken places sites of beauty. One can look at breaks as disruptive, or one can look at them as an opportunity to put the pieces back together, honoring the break and the change and making it beautiful and whole. Leonard Cohen, the Canadian singer-songwriter, has a line from his work Anthem. It goes, "Ring the bells that still can ring. Forget your perfect offering. There is a crack in everything. There is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in." Every single one of us is like a piece of pottery, broken and broken again. This is not something to grieve. It is simply the nature of human life. But it is also our human nature to heal, to muster our resilience and our grit and determination, and to heal, often with help from loved ones and communities like this. The hurts inside us heal. Not so that we are exactly what we were, but so that we are whole in all our brokenness. And we do that again and again, knowing that life will give us cause to break again and again. And we can fill those broken places with gold. This is a community from which you do not have to hide your scars, your broken places, your struggles, because those are also your beautiful golden places, your sites of triumph, your sources of strength. They make you, you. They make you whole. This is also a community that can hold you along your journey. You don't need to have healed yet. You don't need to have applied the golden lacquer. You can be broken here. And being here maybe will help you see that you are still whole. The words of my colleague, the Reverend Teresa Inez Soto, resound in my ears this morning. She writes, "Bring your broken hallelujah here. Bring the large one that is beyond repair. Bring the small one that's too soft to share. Bring your broken hallelujah here. I know that people have told you that before you can give, you have to get yourself together. They overstated the value of perfection by a lot, or they forgot. You are the gift. We all bring some broken things, songs and dreams and long lost hopes. But here and together, we reach within. As a community, we begin again. And from the pieces, we will build something new. There is work that only you can do. We wait for you." I love those words in the middle there. They overstated the value of perfection by a lot, or they forgot. You are the gift. You are the gift. Earlier this week in emails and other communications, I asked you to consider what strengths you bring from your places of brokenness. Maybe it is empathy, maybe generosity. And I want you to keep thinking about that as we move through our services this month. But I had a rethink. Originally, I was going to ask you to type those into the chat and we would read those aloud while we did our water ceremony. But as I've thought more and more about this morning and sat with Reverend Inez Soto's words, I changed my mind. Those gifts you bring are valuable, those places of strength. They're vital even to the thriving of this community. And it's absolutely critical to me that you and we all come to see our broken places as a source of power. But this morning, as we celebrate the strength of this congregation, as we come together and remember who we are as a whole people, I actually want you to remember that you are the gift. You are loved right here in this community. You are the gift. So instead of typing in your strengths or your hopes or any other thing that we might invite in a different year, this year, when we can't be together in person for our ingathering and hug each other and say hello, I am instead inviting you to type your name and the names of all of your family that belongs to this community into the chat. So I'm going to say, please reserve the chat at this point for only typing in names. So for example, Kristen might type in Kristen, Jeff, Annie, and Henry. Each of us who make this place beautiful, each of us whose being is a gift, we will lift up together and honor this morning, calling ourselves back into community by calling out our names. So first, our special music will play, and as that happens, go ahead and type in names and also view the images. These are images of water shared by all of you. So each of these is a picture of water that holds special meaning for people in our community. And then once our special music ends, we will undertake our water ceremony.
Our community exists because you are here, because you commit to it. All of you together create the Unitarian Society of Ridgewood. USR is you. Each of you contribute to making this congregation beautiful. You contribute to its work and its vision. You contribute to its wholeness. And in so doing, you create a place of welcome and embrace that can change lives. The water ceremony, or water communion, began in the 1980s and is used at ingathering services all across the country. UU congregations traditionally come together and each person takes a turn pouring water into a common vessel. Sometimes it is water they have brought from somewhere that holds meaning for them. Sometimes it is water we provide at the congregation. The water ceremony is an invitation to remember that your life, in all its strong and unique, broken and beautiful glory, is part of something larger. It is a reminder that we break, heal, shine, love, and live in community. Drops of water in a deep and healing pool. In a typical year, we would invite folks to come and pour water into our shared vessel. This isn't a typical year in so many ways. So today, Olas will stand in for all of us. He has a pitcher, and he will be pouring a drop of water in while reading your entries from the chat. If you have a bowl of water in front of you at home, I invite you to touch the water in sync with their reading and pouring. His reading and pouring. In this way, you will imbue the water in your own home with the strength of our community. Olas, the list for reading.
John and his amazing mother, Holly. Maria, Peter, Blair, Jack, Dean, Neil, Mark, Carly. Lois. Denise. Carol. Valerie, Henry, Oscar. Elliot, Ron, Maddie. Pamela, Con. Anita Y. and Penny. Anita and Ira. Jan. Chris, George, Helen, Vera. Jan and her friend Jimmy. Joanna, Larry, Mallory, Alan, Kendall. Elizabeth, Lisbeth. Libby and Will. Robin. Georgetta. Maria. Mary Alice and Claude. Helen and Fred. Janice, Jack, Ellie, Kate, Sarah, Paul, Lydia, Mike. Steve and Amy. Anne Wagner. Debbie and Ed. Caroline and Martin. George and Cecilia, Jack, Elijah, and Julia, Anastasia, Diane, Elizabeth, Smith, Franks, Kidwell, Paul, William Franks, Andrew, Dwayne Franks, Rita and Jerome, who are now gone, and brother Paul, whose life is a bit more limited than most of us. Kristen, Reverend Sarah, Ethan, Caleb, and Bowden, Susanna, Margaret, Jean, Dawn and Meryl, Catherine, Rose, Carmen, and Alfredo, Olas, Vinny,
Thank you, Olas. It has been our custom to bless the water created through our water ceremony. To me, what this means is that we take time and space to acknowledge the beauty and power of water, the earth it comes from, our vital need for it, and that then we use our powers as human beings to mark this water, a collection representing all of us, as special. And so I invite you to participate in our blessing. You can bless the bowl that you have in your home. Your words are, "We bless these waters," and I'm going to ask Jeannie to be unmuted and stand in for the congregation. So I will speak words and then I will gesture and you all will speak with Jeannie as your representative. And your part is, "We bless these waters," okay? So, and you can touch your water each time as you go to work the blessing. With gratitude for nature which has brought forth this water,
We bless these waters.
with joy at being together in beloved community, even at a distance,
We bless these waters.
with humbling knowledge of the importance of water for life,
We bless these waters.
committed to helping preserve the beauty of the waters of this earth,
We bless these waters.
remembering those whose journeys have enabled our own,
We bless these waters.
hopeful at the thought of those who will come after.
We bless these waters.
By our sharing and our giving, by our loving hearts, may these waters be blessed. And may each of you be blessed with the knowledge of your own beauty, your own wholeness, remembering always that you are a gift. So may it be. Please join in our final hymn. It is Blue Boat Home. The lyrics will be on your screen and Kristen will lead us.
Number 1064, Blue Boat Home.
Though below me I feel no motion, standing on these mountains and plains, far away from the rolling ocean, ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. Sun, my sail, and moon, my rudder, as I ply the starry sea, leaning over the edging wonder, casting questions into the deep, drifting here with my ship's companions, all we kindred pilgrim souls, making our way by the lights of the heavens, in our beautiful blue boat home. I give thanks to the waves upholding me, hail the great winds urging me on, greet the infinite sea before me, sing the sky my sailor song. I was born upon the fathoms, never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home.
Please join us in the words for extinguishing the chalice. They can be found on your screen. We extinguish the flame, but may the light of truth, the warmth of love, and the energy of action burn bright in our hearts until we are together again.
Thank you all for being with us this morning. Although it's a strange and different kind of congregational year, I am very excited for it and excited to be with you.